serving for the University of Southern California. Along his side is number 13, Pat Ivy. Number 5, Nick Becker. Number 10, Brian Ivy. Number 4, Jason Perkins. And number 11, Leon Devaney.
And the first kill of the match goes to number 15, Fred Malcolm. IPFW attacking that net.
Rightly so to Fred. He's the senior captain.
Raul Papaleo serving.
Brian Ivy goes high over the block. The assist by Dan Greenbaum. Pat Ivy, younger brother of Brian, serving for USC. We saw Pat Ivy last night bring out an incredible jump serve. Nice play by Devaney. That one's out to Becker, and he puts that one away. You can see the great defense by USC already. Pat Ivy still serving. Raul Papaleo with a nice pass. It goes out to Fred Malcolm. That's high off the block. Another kill by Malcolm. The assist by freshman Volleyball.
Fred Malcolm starting off hot right away here.
Nick Becker with a quick pass. And the middles for USC. Starting off quickly with that one by Jason Perkins.
This is the first time ever that IPFW has played a number 1 ranked team.
Malcolm making up for last night, coming on strong, 3 for 3. In game 1, USC leads 1-0. Nick Becker with a nice pass. Malcolm with a dig. That's what's going to win this game. Almodovar sends that one into the concession stand.
Brian Ivy back to serve for the Trojans.
And this is the guy to shut down if IPFW wants to get a respectable finish.
Volleyball with a sneak attack on the second ball.
Volleyball
where they can't handle it.
Being 6'9", he's a setter and he likes to throw that down. USC should know that.
Jason Perkins drives one through the blocks, side out for the Trojans.
Perkins.
They lead 1-0 in this first game.
Perkins, a 6'4" sophomore out of Corona Del Mar. He's serving.
Raul Papaleo drills one deep for a kill.
A sophomore out of Puerto Rico. You'll see Raul mix up a lot of shots. Keeps USC defense on their toes. Tom Junkie serving for the Dons. Devaney. He puts that one away up into the track of IPFW. Devaney last night, 11 for 24. He's an offensive threat for USC. Malcolm out of the back row. Devaney with a dig. Volleyball to Tony Looning with the quick attack. And a big block
by Looning and Ball.
Tony Looning, our player of the game last night against Ohio State, showing why he was. He's an intense player.
Volleyball back to serve.
Malcolm hitting the overpass, soft foot block. That's going to give the point to IPFW. They tie it up 1 apiece in game 1. Last night we saw quite a few lineup changes with IPFW. Tonight looks like they're going to stay pretty steady. Greenbaum. Supposed to go to Ivy in the backcourt. That's a free ball to IPFW. Malcolm, he puts that one away. That's got to build some confidence in Fred Malcolm. Here we see the replay. Loy Ball kicks it out to Malcolm. Line's wide open. They take the lead 2-1 in game 1. There's a net violation on the serve.
Really got to serve tough against this USC team. Loy Ball trying just a little too hard that time.
Got to serve very aggressively. Passing could be a big problem. It's back to Brian Ivy. Who hits high. We have a net violation. Fred Malcolm. Brian Ivy hits the ball very high. Coach Ball looks like he's going to keep Fred Malcolm on him or put Loy Ball on him. Papaleo, option. He hits high. Devaney sucking into the court.
Papa's really hot tonight. Raul Papaleo, he's fired up. He wants to play a good match.
Devaney doing a nice job passing. Fred Malcolm with a big left-handed Kong block. Out to Ivy. It's high off the block. Papaleo's there. Sends USC scrambling. It's back out to Ivy. The Junkie with a dig. And that one goes down. Great defense by the Mastodons. There you see it again. High over the block. Junkie. And then Ivy puts it over the top. Almodovar with a great pass.
And the shot down the line for a kill. This IPFW team, they may be young, they may be only ranked 10th, but they're not intimidated by this #1 ranked USC team.
They're coming out to play this evening. Tony Looning, nice floater. They're going after Devaney tonight. Becker tools that one off of Almodovar. Nick Becker, a big offensive threat also with 14 kills last night against Penn State. Papaleo with a great pass to Loy Ball. Looning out of the back court. That's going to send a free one over and out. Looning with the kill out of the back court. Tony Looning, a senior from Belleville, Illinois. Here's
IPFW playing with a lot more concentration, a lot more enthusiasm than they did last night.
Exactly. I feel that playing against the #1 team in the country pumps them up. Crowd pumps them up. They're ready to play some ball tonight. And that's a net serve by Brian Ivy, the All-American player for USC. It does happen. They go out and serve aggressive, and sometimes you just miss. Almodovar. Becker handles that easy. It's out to Devaney. Big Loy Ball. Clamps down.
6'9" Loy Ball. He's a big block out there.
Devaney out of Hawaii at 6'1". Can't get it by him. USC, nice job passing. And a quick attack continues to beat IPFW a little bit. I feel right now, Colin, that if IPFW doesn't stop USC's middle, it could be quicker than what they expect.
That's exactly right. We saw that last night.
A lift called on Loy Ball. That's going to tie it up at 3 apiece in game 1 of our championship match. It's a tough ball to handle by Loy. 6'9". He's got to get underneath that ball. Fred Malcolm out of the back court, hitting high. Ooh, Ivy tips that one down. Looks like Greenbaum held on to it. Tom Pingle lets him get away with it.
Stayed in his hands an awful long time.
You're going to see with USC being ranked #1 in the country, they're going to get away with a little bit more. They've got the respect of some of the officials, and they're just going to get away with some of that play we saw by Greenbaum there. The junk man. He puts that one down. The assist by Loy Ball.
Tom Junkie back to serve now for the Dons.
Devaney. Ivy out of the back court. Almodovar. Loy Ball tries to get it, but he can't. USC doing a real nice job passing. IPFW not really serving that easy. That's what those years in the beach do to you. Just keep your ball control going well.
Years of experience there.
Raul Papaleo. That ball is out. He tried to go for Ivy, but missed him. USC takes the lead 5-3. Devaney still serves. Tony Looning. Right there, we're seeing a little bit different change, Colin. Tony Looning hitting the middle. A big change. Here we see him. He's an outside hitter. He's a setter. He's a middle hitter.
Loy Ball bringing out the jump serve again.
That one's long. They've got to keep serving aggressively. Now they need to start getting that ball in. Dan Greenbaum, the 6'3" senior quarterback out of Palos Verdes, California. He's serving for USC.
Malcolm's tip did not break the barrier of the plane.
Fred Malcolm getting a little tentative. Saw the hole behind the block, but missed it. Mistimed it. Papaleo had trouble passing now. It goes out to Malcolm. And he hits that one long. IPFW is starting to make quite a few mistakes now. As you see, the consistency of the Trojans breaks teams like that. There, that one's served out.
Run a string of points. You got to keep the momentum going by keeping the serve in. USC gives the Dons a break here.
It's going to send number 9, Raul Papaleo from Cages, Puerto Rico, back to the line. He's going to stay on the ground.
Nobody up.
IPFW's blockers having a little tough time that time. And there's where you see that great passing really helps. Pat Ivy to Almaldivar, great pass. It's back out to Almaldivar. That's off of Brian Ivy.
Freshman Almaldivar going up against the senior Ivy. He doesn't know him that well, so he's not going to take anything from him.
Devaney. Looning with a great dig, and Malcolm sends it back. Fred Malcolm throws that one deep. Everybody sucked in on USC's side.
They were up there on the coverage.
Here you see Looning, and he throws it back in that corner. Pat Ivy can't get that one. That's going to give IPFW .4. USC leads game 1 of our championship match, 7-4 over our IPFW Mastodons. Looning with a lollipop serve. Back to Ivy, and another dig. He's got Ivy's number, and Junkie rolls one over to Pat Ivy. Back to Ivy.
Off the block.
Off the block. Tony Looning doing a nice job playing defense, keeping the ball alive. That's what they're going to need. Coverage by Looning. It's back set to Malcolm. He rolls that one over. Greenbaum with a nice play. Brian Ivy will set it out to Devaney. He puts that one away. Fred Malcolm needs to continue his hot streak of hitting the ball. He's getting a little tentative and rolling shots right to the players of USC. Lloyd Ball back set to Malcolm. 4 hits called. Coach Ball doesn't like what he sees at all. He's going to call timeout. USC leads game 1, 9-4. IPFW they came out really strong at the beginning of game 1. But now we see USC experience and maturity taking advantage of the IPFW mistakes.
That's right. They're serving tough. IPFW's passing is breaking down a little bit. They got to start pushing the ball back on target. Lloyd Ball's got to make some better choices. Make sure his sets are there so his hitters can attack him with confidence.
Need to kick it up. See if this crowd can get him back into it. USC, as I mentioned, they are passing extremely well. Not giving IPFW any chances.
Nick Becker serving for the Trojans.
Oh, Papaleo to Lloyd Ball. And Tom Junkie puts that one away. Junkie out of Minneapolis, Minnesota.
We saw that last night against Penn State. USC has a hard time stopping that middle attack.
And there's a little passing breakdown, but they kick it high to Devaney, and he puts that away. Don't count them out with a bad pass.
Can't quit on the play just because they make a bad pass. They're going to do something to keep it alive.
Ryan Ivy going after Almaldivar. Miscommunication by the Dons. Brian Ivy will still serve for USC. Volleyball having problems connecting with Almodovar. The passing breaks down for the Dons. They need to kick it up into high gear.
Tony Looning trying to calm the troops down out there. Got to get them back in the game here.
Almodovar having trouble passing. And Dan Greenbaum, the left-handed setter for USC, puts that one away. Here we see that last play, Almodovar just rolling over. And we can see what the ball control of USC does. He has the option of setting or hitting.
Junkie out of the middle.
As you mentioned earlier, Colin, they have trouble stopping that quick attack. And Tom Junkie, they can't run that quick attack if they're not passing well.
And an ace serve for Norman Almodovar.
Yeah, get things ticking. With some digs by Looning, IPFW can be right back into the ball game. Nice floater serve. And a block by Papaleo and Junkie. Dig by Malcolm. Lloyd going high. Papaleo off the top of the block.
Another point for the Dons. That makes it 12-5 in favor of USC. Dons are coming back. Coach Ball getting a yellow card warning.
First one can be a warning, then if he gets a red card, that will be a point for USC.
Greenbaum sneaking in that second ball over again.
Dan Greenbaum doing a nice job leading the USC team. Number 12, Chris Knowles, will come into the lineup for USC, replacing number 4, Jason Perkins. And he brings out the jump serve. Looning handles it. Junkie takes a little something off that ball and still gets the kill.
Took enough off of it, hit it in the right place.
Devaney, that's to Pat Ivy, and Lloyd Ball's over in the middle this time. He has to get out. And Papaleo swings that one over to the scorer's bench.
Side out to the Trojans.
Leon Devaney, a 6'1" senior out of Honolulu, Hawaii, serves for the Trojans.
Serve floats long, side out, IPFW.
You see USC making a few more mistakes than they did the first 10 points, giving IPFW a chance to come right back. Volleyball jump serving. That one's like the second option play. Looning goes underneath the net. Side out goes to USC. Dan Greenbaum will serve. Almodovar passes it up to Ball, up to Malcolm. And he's blocked.
Brian Ivy with the big roof.
Fred's got to realize where that All-American blocker is. He's got a big block in front of him right now. He needs to keep swinging high and break some fingers. Out to Malcolm again. There you go. He's off the high, up the hands. And Looning wins the joust at the net. Fred Malcolm must have heard me on that last shot. Papaleo serving for the Dons. Free ball goes to IPFW. Lloyd Ball out of the back court. Off the block. That's going to give a point to IPFW. They're closing the gap. USC leads game 1, 13-7. But don't count out this young team of IPFW. Brian Ivy with a dig by Junkie. It's going out of there. Junkie doing a nice job both offensively and defensively.
Substitutions for the Trojans. Drew Sheward into the lineup to serve. And Jason Perkins back in for blocking in the front row.
Sheward serving, 5'11" junior. And that one's set outside. That's going to give a point to USC, setting them up for game point in game 1 of our championship match. Nice low serve. That one goes out to Moldovar, who's not ready for it. And that's going to give game 1 to USC, the #1 team in the country. Handles the #10 team in the country easily. Well, Colin, let's have a coach's corner here and let's try to discuss what IPFW needs to do to stay on the heels of USC and even take the lead.
Right now, they've got to start serving more aggressively, keep the ball deep into the corners, make the passers move to get that ball. They've also got to start passing the ball better and just start communicating better. They had a couple errors out there those last few points. They just broke down, not knowing where the hitters were going, not knowing who's going to take the ball. They got to start talking to each other a little better, doing a better job of communicating, and just executing their passing and serving better.
They came out in a ball of fire, and then they let down quite a bit. Their consistency continues to hurt them. You saw against Ball State last weekend. They won the first 2 games. Then they lost the next 3, losing the championship match of the A6 qualifier. And that right there in itself, you know, is humbling to a team. They need to bring it back. Although they are young, they have some players, national team experience. Fred Malcolm really showed that experience at the beginning of the game and then kind of laid back and let USC take control.
Lloyd's got to get Fred some better sets. When he gets some good sets, he goes up there and cranks on it. He's got a lot of confidence in his hitting ability when he's got a good set. Lloyd's got to keep it out there where he can really get out and swing at it.
You see the strength of USC for all those young players out there, the way they passed the ball and they controlled it. They made the ball do whatever they wanted it to do. They didn't let the ball play them. They passed the ball up to Dan Greenbaum, who had any option in the world to go to throw it.
There are people out there who need help, but don't have anyone with the right skills and knowledge to turn to for help with their taxes. You or your organization can be there for someone who needs help. Volunteer your time, and the IRS will volunteer the training to help make someone's taxes less taxing.
Some people think Social Security is just for retirement.
But if a serious illness or injury puts you out of work, Social Security can pay disability.
Even if you're years from retirement.
And it would pay your family survivor's benefits if somehow your life gets cut short.
So what benefits can you expect? Find out by calling 1-800-2345-SSA.
For your own personal earnings and benefit estimate statement. Social Security, it's not just for retirement.
It's for life.
We're back. We're back live at the Mastodons. USC Trojans defeating IPFW in game 1 by a score of 15-7. And they definitely showed why they are #1 in the country. Their ball control was incredible. Running a nice offense and making some defensive plays. IPFW came out strong, but then laid back a little bit.
That's right. As well as USC's passing. Dan Greenbaum's a good enough setter. In fact, he's a pretty good setter. He's got a lot of choices out there. You see it right there.
That's a big problem IPFW had in the first game, was stopping the Trojans' middle.
Pat Ivy, freshman with that kill, brings out the jump serve into the net. IPFW needs to get a little emotion going out here, start celebrating more. Came out there first couple plays and really put it to USC.
Devaney Back to Brian Ivy. There's a dig by the Dons. It's going out to Almodovar. And he's blocked straight down.
Big block of Brian Ivy out there. Got to keep our sets back off the net. The hitters are going to get trapped up there.
Brian Ivy, 6'7" senior. And a lift's called on Lloyd Ball. Up official Tom Pingle didn't like the way he handled that. IPFW continuing to struggle on their passing. USC leads game 2, 1-0. Papaleo, nice pass there. Looning, he's blocked by Brian Ivy again.
Brian Ivy just all over the place. Seems to know where Lloyd Ball is going to set the ball, and he's out there for the block. Crowd trying to get the Dons going.
Almodovar puts that one away. A set by Lloyd Ball.
Great deep shot back in the corner by Almodovar. See if we can get a block here, get a point.
Looning with a nice floater to Becker, handles it well. Devaney off the hands of Fred Malcolm. There's a great example of a hitter using the block to his advantage.
Devaney's got a lot of power behind that hit.
Brian Ivy from Manhattan Beach, California. Tom Junkie continuing to be unstoppable at the net. When IPFW passes, Colin, they're unstoppable in the middle.
That's right. Here we see that last play. Pass up on target. Junkie drills it down.
USC can be tested by the other California teams in the middle. They pass a little bit better. They should test the middles of USC. Here we go again.
Junkie reaching high to tip it over the block.
Doing a nice job offensively. Lloyd Ball keeps feeding him. He knows. Right there. Almodovar serving for the Dons.
Into the net. Side out to the Trojans. Devaney back to serve.
Papaleo, he hits high in the deep corner. Devaney gets just enough on it. It's a free ball to the Mastodons. Papaleo. Looning out of the back court, and that one's down. Few of the fans in front of us, Colin, getting IPFW pumped up. Here we see it. Out to Looning, back court. Ivy having trouble getting it. Tony Looning's called over the net on that. Up official, excuse me, Tom Pingle, saying that it never crossed the plane of the net. And it goes to USC and Dan Greenbaum. Fred Malcolm out of the back court. And he blasts that one down the line. Side out goes to the Dons.
Becker thought he had a dig on that.
Here we see Malcolm starting to light up things again. IPFW starting to play well. The consistency needs to be there. USC having trouble with that pass. Becker hits out, and Almodovar with a great dig. Looning, he hits high but no touch. IPFW kicking up the defense. Now they need to keep some errors from showing. At Ivy serving. Low ball kicks it high to Malcolm. Boy ball outside to Malcolm, and that one's down.
Greg came out. The first game was hitting real well. Kind of cooled off in there. You know, he's starting to pick it up in game 2.
Papaleo serves it to Devaney. It's an option play. And we have a net call by number 3, Almodovar. It's a great play by IPFW. Then they're in the net. Gives USC second win.
Serve is well long.
USC starting to make mistakes.
Still 2-0, game 2. IPFW is siding out well. Now they have to get a point.
Dan Greenbaum called for the lift. Nice serve by Tony Looning. Looning also played with the Evanston boys team along with David Muir, Tom Sorensen for Pepperdine, a very strong team when Tony was playing with them. That one's hit wide. That's going to tie the game up, Colin, at 2 apiece in game 2.
That's right. Got the good block up that time. Becker tried to hit around it and hit it too sharp.
Dan Greenbaum, he backs that to Ivy. He goes high. Looning's there. And Moldovar out to Malcolm. And
off the top of the block.
That's going to give the lead back to the Dons. Just like in game 1, they come out fired up, getting the crowd into it.
Fred Malcolm starting to have a good night.
Looning digging lips for the Dons. Out to Devaney, who continues to tool that block. 6'1" senior.
Tom Junkie trying to deflect that ball up so we can play it in the back.
Ivy, number 10 for USC, serves. And he serves
long. Let's see if we can capitalize on the USC mistakes now.
Malcolm goes back to take advantage.
Becker off the top of the block.
As we saw last night, USC and Penn State playing. Saw a lot of shots tooling the block. We continue to say that the hitters are using the block to their advantage.
USC is a real disciplined club. Even when there's no blockers up, they don't hit the ball straight down. They hit it deep.
And that one's blocked deep into the corner. Great hustle by Looning. I think you hit they said the key word, Colin, there, and that was discipline. They have disciplined themselves to play the type of ball that it takes to win games. They're not here to play for the crowd. They're here to win the game and go to the NCAA Final Four and repeat last year's championship.
They've got all 6 players back from last year's #1 team. That's why they're ranked #1 this year.
Papaleo. Malcolm out of the back court. He swings away at that one.
Becker can't handle it there in the back row. Here we see it again.
Fred loves that backcourt attack. He ends up by the end. He jumps a good 10 feet to the center line. Greenbaum, yes. You can see that coming from here, and IPFW read it also.
Papaleo with the block.
More consistency coming out of IPFW. Greenbaum backs it to Ivy. Malcolm says you're easy. And Volleyball goes high off of Ivy's arms. That gives them a 2-point lead, 5-3 over USC. The crowd's going nuts.
The crowd's really behind this team. Let's see if they can pump them up and get them going here.
Greenbaum back to Ivy. Malcolm. Like to say you're easy, but he shanks that one back to the doors. Fred Malcolm with a nice dig there. That gives, you can see what a nice dig does to the team. Scores points. Moldovar, and then Junkie having trouble with that one.
Set just a little too high for him that time.
Nice floating serve by Devaney. Moldovar handles it well. Great play by Perkins. Becker, now we're seeing some defense. Malcolm starting to swing with a lot of confidence. And that one's off the block. Nice rally by both teams.
Seen some great defensive plays on both sides of the net. This crowd's really appreciating it.
Papaleo puts that one away, catches Perkins, cheating into the court a little bit. Like to play defense from outside to the inside. Here we see it again. Perkins inside, trying to play it outside. Greenbaum kicks it out to Ivy in the backcourt. Junkie's there, we got trouble. Malcolm is there. Got to keep it on our side. Junkie is
There we
there.
go.
Out of the backcourt. Fred Malcolm rolls that puppy over. Pat Ivy. Nice dig by Fred Malcolm. It's out to Papaleo.
The ball's still up.
That one's hit wide. We're seeing some tremendous defense by the Mastodons. They score .6 and take the lead 6-5 over USC in game 2.
Crowd really getting into this action. They love the defense by the Dons.
Big block out of bounds. Looning's there, but can't turn it back in.
It's like IPFW is starting to serve short. They think they found a weakness.
Looks like they have. And they are passing very well. And the miss hit by Looning will give the Dons a side out. Volleyball, the 6'9" freshman out of Woodburn, Indiana. He'll serve, and he'll bring out the jump serve.
Becker's hit. Called good.
Call's good. The freshman, Pat Ivy, will serve. That one is blocked out of bounds. Fred Malcolm once again gets the kill and the assist by Volleyball.
Raul Papaleo back to serve. Another short serve.
Brian Ivy puts that one down. We're seeing a battle between a few freshmen here, Almodovar and Volleyball and Pat Ivy. They want that Freshman of the Year honor.
Tony Looning.
The assist by Volleyball.
Hitting that ball deep into the court for the kill. Looning will now serve.
He is going short. Greenbaum out to the Devaney. Papaleo says you're easy. Nice one-arm set by Volleyball. Almodovar with the kill. When you're hot, you're hot. Volleyball just stuck out an arm. It went right up to Almodovar.
Great dig by Papaleo to get things started.
Going short again. Greenbaum just getting to the target. That one is hit in.
Ball was hit long.
Up official Tom Pingle has a deciding call, and he's calling it out. Timeout to USC. IPFW leads game 2, 8-5. The Mastodons have really cranked it up a notch.
That's right, they're really playing well. They're getting some great digs in the back row. They're serving smart right now, making USC make the mistakes.
Offense wins games, but defense wins championships. Defense is the key and controlling the ball. They've really turned on their control and defense.
IPFW and USC have met only once previous. Trip by IPFW out to the West Coast. It ended rather badly for the Dons as they were beat by scores of 15-2, 15-0, and 15-4. It's not going to happen this year. The Dons are going to stick through those games right to the end.
They're cranking it up, and they're looking forward to this serve by Tony. They're continuing to tack short. It's a key play right here. Looning out of the backcourt. No touch. That one's hit long.
Great hustling play by Tom Junkie that time. Get that ball out, it came off the top of the block. Ivy serving for the Trojans.
You can see IPFW really playing with a lot of confidence. Devaney sticks out an arm. It goes to Brian Ivy. Tony Looning playing dodgeball. Can't get out of the way. He's out. That will score a point for USC. They trail IPFW 8-6 in game 2. Raul Papaleo. It's out to Norman. He puts that one inside the block.
Norman's really getting pumped up tonight.
The freshman from Yaco, Puerto Rico, Norman Almodovar. Malcolm serving to Becker. Once again, the middle of USC. Jason Perkins puts that one away. Substitution for USC. Drew Sheward will replace Jason Perkins. He's a defensive specialist out of Newport Beach, California.
I think IPFW's short serving has taken.
Tip by Loy Ball doesn't go. The set by Norman. Loy Ball with a major roof on Devaney. Goes off his head.
Short serving by IPFW has taken the USC middles out of the game. They're not able to run that middle on the short serve.
Almodovar serves short again. Greenbaum goes to his bread and butter, Ivy.
Papaleo.
Oh, Papaleo. There's a touch off of Pat Ivy. Great set by Loy Ball. And that gives IPFW 0.9. Playing incredible defense right now. Still attacking the short. That one hits the antenna. IPFW leads 10-6 over the #1 Trojans in game 2. Mistakes are haunting the USC team. And great play by the Dons. Continue.
That's right. The Dons have really cut down on their errors. They're passing well. Setting is coming along.
Almodovar, Loy Ball throws that one down. Ivy's there. And he gets blocked by the 6'9" freshman Loy Ball.
Three-man block just up there waiting for Ivy that time.
Going after him again. Ivy. Almodovar, this says you're very easy. And then Pat Ivy blocks Tony Looney. Great defense by Norman Almodovar and the IPFW Mastodons. Breaking down Brian Ivy. Loy Ball hits that one into the block.
Ivy was waining for that one. Loy came from the hip on that one.
Didn't fool
disguise.
too many people. Almodovar passing extremely well. That one hit wide. Coach Ball is going to call a timeout. Give the Mastodons a rest and think about how they're playing, which is very well, Colin.
That's right. He's talking to his son, Loy Ball, right now. Trying to emphasize making the correct decision, making the right choice, and getting the set to the right person at the right time out there. He's got the tools to do it. He's just got to go out there and get the job done right now.
USC not giving up. They're a very strong team, and IPFW should not count them out. We should never count a team out.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, we're back live at the Mastodon.
Raul
IPFW.
Papaleo with the kill to get the side out for the Dons.
Brian Ivy puts that one away.
6'7" Ivy going over the top of the 6'2" Papaleo on that one.
This is our championship match. Fort Wayne National Bank Pepsi Invitational. Outside to Malcolm. Tony Looning will set. He will hit. He'll hit it into the net. IPFW, as they did in game 1, came out strong, very strong in game 2. And now they're seeing lie down a little bit. Passing, breaking down. Fred Malcolm off the block. Dan Greenbaum goes to Perkins. Junky's there. And the middle's working for IPFW, but Devaney chases it down. Gives IPFW a free ball. Out to Malcolm.
And it's blocked back into his face. Great hustling play by the Trojans.
Leonard Devaney makes an incredible hustle play into the bench of USC.
Ace serve for
Ace
Pat
serve.
Ivy.
That's going to give the Trojans the lead, 11-10 in game 2. USC trailing 10-7 before the timeout. Now they go ahead 11-10. Pat Ivy, the freshman, brings out the jump serve. Papaleo passes it up, backs it to Papaleo. Touch off the block. Raul Papaleo.
Raul's really playing well tonight. He's passing the ball on target. He's fired up and hitting the ball hard and well.
Block, not pressing quite as hard as they would like to.
Nick Becker with the kill for the Trojans. He'll now serve.
Amaldavar passing nicely. Looning puts that one away, but Becker handles it easily. And Jason Perkins goes over the center line. That's going to bring Tom Junkie back into the lineup for Paul Springhoff. Looning serving for the Dons. Devaney handles it, then swings outside. And with the non-penetrating block of the Dons, gets the side out.
Back off the net just a little too much that time. Got to stay up to the net and penetrate.
Ivy with a nice dig. Tom Pingle calls a lift on Tom Junkie. That's going to give a point to USC. They lead game number 2, 12-10. A miss hit by Junkie is played up by Greenbaum, and he wants to swing. Miscommunication by the Volleyball. That's going to give USC another point. They lead 13-10. Coach Ball wants another timeout. Get his Mastodons back on track.
That last play, Lloyd Ball, the setter, dug the first shot. Everybody was waiting for the setter to take the second ball, but he played the first one, so he couldn't. Somebody else has to step in and set that ball.
We see the new Jungle Ball by Mikasa be given away at every home match at the Mastodon. You can also purchase a Jungle Ball through LJ's Volleyball World.
Ryan Ivy still serving for the Trojans. Crowd trying to get the Dons pumped up and back into this game.
Papaleo outside. Amaldavar, that's off the block. That's going to get the Dons back on track now. Let's see if Fred Malcolm can get some defense going.
Roy Ball into the front row. Let's see if he can get a big block up.
Devaney off the hands of Tom Junkie. And that's blocked long. Jason Perkins with a short serve. It's going backcourt to Tony Looning. He gets way underneath it. No extension of his arm, sends it into the bench of USC.
He hit it on the head there. He ran underneath the ball.
USC serving for game point in game 2. Tom Junkie blasts off the middle. When IPFW passes well, that's what happens.
Tom Junkie's been almost unstoppable in the middle. They got to keep feeding him the ball, though.
Now Moldovar serves that one in the net, getting USC to serve for game point.
Sounded like he mishit that one. Not a good time for a mishit.
Tom Junkie, Perkins with the one-arm dig. Becker swings, but it's blocked. Ivy sets back to Becker. That's off the block. And that's going to give the game 2 to the Trojans of USC. They win by the score of 15-10. They lead the best 5 game match 2-0. They won the first one 50-7. Here we see game point. Becker hitting off the block. And Mooning has running shoes on. Again, we saw the mental breakdown of IPFW. And USC just playing steady. They were making the mistakes, and then they played steady towards the end. Took the lead back, and then won the game.
We see that last play again.
Brian Ivy waves everybody off, fair catch. And Becker, we see Looning taking off inside the court.
That's right. IPFW is leading 10-7 in that game. Had some mental breakdowns. They gotta keep their concentration and focus. We see the serving contest.
First serve goes for a car by Glenbrook Dodge Hyundai. The second serve for $5,000. The third serve, if it goes in, is for $2,500. As you can see, that's not an easy task.
No, it's not. And we'll be right back after these brief messages.
There was a time when people helped their neighbors, and together they built a stronger community. This spirit lives on today in NeighborWorks, a unique partnership of local residents, business, and government leaders. NeighborWorks volunteers have rebuilt over 100,000 homes, restoring pride to millions of neighbors. So help a neighbor and a nation. Join NeighborWorks. Reversing decline, rebuilding pride.
When my sister called, she sounded worried.
I'm glad you could make it.
What are sisters for? What's wrong?
It's Eddie. He's 13 with a steady girl. It's not easy to talk to him about
Sex, drugs, and now AIDS.
How did Mom talk to us?
She didn't. Look, you and his father aren't together anymore, and with the risks of AIDS, I'd talk to him soon.
I will. But I'll need to know what I'm saying.
To help you prepare for a conversation about AIDS, call for a guide.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're at the Mastodon at the IPFW campus, and we're in Game 3 of our championship match of the Fort Wayne National Bank Pepsi Invitational. The University of Southern California versus the IPFW Mastodons. USC taking games 1 and 2 by the scores of 15-7, 15-10. Right now, IPFW comes out of that second game, Colin, with a little momentum loss. They had it going, building it up, and then it just like ran into a brick wall.
They had some mental breakdowns, a little emotional letdown. They got to build it back up for this game 3.
And that brick wall being Brian Ivy. Devaney still making those one-arm digs. Volleyball to set up to Papaleo. It's out to Malcolm. And he hits that one off the block. The block of Ivy and Ivy. Here we see it here. Volleyball, nice set. There's Pat Ivy, Brian Ivy. Malcolm tools him.
Papaleo's serve is a bit long. Side out to the Trojans. Pat Ivy to serve.
Jump serve. Papaleo shoots it up to Volleyball, and Fred Malcolm hits that one long and wide.
Point number 1 for the Trojans.
Fred Malcolm, beginning of game 1 and game 2, came out very strong. High off the block is Almodovar. Out to Becker.
Junkie with the set.
And there's that quick attack. Malcolm puts that one away. Here we see it again. Little roll shot. Junkie puts it right up there. Malcolm one step off, one step back. And he's there. And Brian Ivy with the second option. The first option being the quick attack. The second option being the cross.
The way both teams' middles have been hitting, you've got to respect that one ball.
Exactly. And there
Fred Malcolm on the back one ball.
The back one ball, the middle being effective again on that shot. Here we see that last play, Norman Almodovar with a nice pass and Malcolm going for the back one.
Jason Perkins hits the one ball off the top of the IPFW block to give the Trojans a side out. Brian Ivy will serve.
Ivy serves it in the net. That's going to go to the Volleyball. And that person there, number 3, Norman Almodovar. That will be a replay. Let the ball touch the ground, did not catch it. That one's served in, that's an ace. Good call by the linesperson, Claire Meyer.
Here we see it again, right on the line.
That one served wide. We saw Almodovar last week humble Stefan Stamato for Ball State by being in the leg. Stefan could not get out of the way.
USC gives the ball back with a service error. Tom Junkie now serving.
Greenbaum out to Devaney, who puts that one away. Greenbaum will get the assist. Leon Devaney will go back to serve. He's from Hawaii. He's a long ways from home.
He wants to go back to the NCAA finals this year. He'll be back home.
Mooning plants a seed of his own.
Here we see it, starting off with a good pass by Raul.
Heavy hitter. And Volleyball puts that one in the net. That's frustrating to put a ball away like that and then serve one in the net. Almodovar with a great pass. Looning. And that's a foot save by Devaney, but that's not legal in the sport of volleyball. So
ball must be contacted above the waist. Side out to the Don.
Becker with a nice pass to Greenbaum. Ivy has trouble. It's a low set.
Greenbaum tried the one-handed set. It was a little too low for 6'5" Ivy.
Becker pass outside to Brian Ivy. Says, here you go, little brother. This is how you do it. Pat Ivy with the jump serve. That's out. Last night against Penn State, Pat Ivy with a very effective jump serve. Tony Luning serves to Devaney. Greenbaum. Second option to Brian Ivy. He tooled Moldova.
Nick Becker back to serve for the Trojans.
Malcolm goes off the block. Becker stays deep and handles it. And Jason Perkins puts that away.
Both teams finding great success with setting that middle. USC passing the ball a little better, so they're able to run it more often. But we're still tied up at 2 here in game 3.
Nick Becker serving for the University of Southern California. Junkie.
Crowd starting to come alive here, trying to get those Dons some adrenaline. Getting pumped up for a big stuff block right here.
Nice one-handed set by Dan Greenbaum. Junkie brings it back, but he crosses the center line, the imaginary center line that goes beyond the court.
Once the ball breaks the plane of the net, it is out of bounds. You cannot bring it back.
Brian Ivy serving for USC. Moldovar. And Volleyball with a nice forearm pass set to Junkie. I like to see this hitting percentage for Tom Junkie right now. He's unstoppable.
He's playing a good game. We just got to get him blocking a little more right here.
Devaney, tough time here. Pat Ivy sets it back to the... That ball's out. Here we see that play again. Pat Ivy doing a nice job. Just give it right back to your outside hitter. It's a tough angle to hit when the ball's coming over your left shoulder. So you need to keep that ball coming over the right shoulder like that. Perkins serving to Papaleo. Junkman.
Tom Junkie is literally unstoppable in this game.
Volleyball giving them the assist. He goes back and fires one at Becker. Greenbaum gives it to Ivy out of the backcourt. Moldovar. Great job by USC. Ivy, Moldovar's got him twice. Norman's not ready for the set. He blasts that out.
Great digs by Norman.
Doing a nice job hanging on the line, keeping that left foot planted so he doesn't suck into the court. Papaleo, great pass, second option. Mooney, there in the middle for USC, stops IPFW's middle. That will give a point to USC, and they lead game 3. Excuse me, it's all tied at 3 apiece. Volleyball gives it back to Papaleo, high off the block.
Volleyball out there directing traffic, sending Papaleo on the back set that time.
He's going to stay down. Back to Becker. Malcolm pressing very hard on the block. Volleyball out of position a little bit. That's going to give the kill to Nick Becker.
Fred got him the first time, but he couldn't quite get him the second time.
Here we see it again. Boy, just out of position by a foot. Malcolm doing some heavy hitting out there. IPFW needs to kick up the defense. It's been a stalemate at 3 apiece for a while now.
Got a big blocking front line up here. Let's see if they can do something.
And Papaleo sends that one out.
Freshman Pat Ivy back to serve.
He serves that one into the net.
Last night in the match against Penn State, he had 4 service errors.
Tony Luning going for the short serve again. That time, that one's in by Ivy. USC handled the short serve well that time, Colin.
That's right. Pass the set up there, or pass the ball up to the setter. He chose the correct option. Got Ivy one-on-one on the back set.
Right now we're seeing a very side-out game. Just a lot of heavy hitting, not a lot of defense. And there we see defense by the Trojans. They send it over for a free ball to the Dons. Back out to Almodovar. He puts that one down. He wants to get things going at the Mastodon. Here we see that play again. Nice pass by Papa. And he kicks it inside. Out to Devaney. And he tools the block. Kind of quiets down the intensity of IPFW.
Got Lloyd Ball in the front row now. Let's see if he attacks the second ball here.
Nice coverage by Almodovar. With a lucky coverage. USC leads game 3, 4-3 over IPFW. Here's a replay of that last shot. He swings and then he covers it up, and no one goes for it. Mooning out of the backcourt, the A position. Out to Devaney. He sends that one way off the track. There's no touch. I think that's a record, Colin, in this gymnasium.
Yeah, it sure is.
About got our cameraman up there for Channel 6.
Keeping everybody awake. You never know where the ball's going in this gym now.
And there's a touch.
Devaney comes back. Beats one down this time.
Keeps that one inside the gym, actually, not just the court, inside the gym.
Here we see that play again. There's the kill.
Number 4, Jason Perkins. He's a 6'4" sophomore out of Corona Del Mar, California. Doing a nice job this evening. Lloyd Ball out to Papaleo. High off the block. Greenbaum. Devaney has trouble.
Tom Junkie with the stuffed block.
Defensive player for USC got in a little in the way of Devaney a little bit. His steps got mixed up, as you can see there. He loses his jump a little bit when your steps get all mixed up. Almodovar, great pass. Lloyd Ball out to Papaleo. Hitting very high. Ivy off the block. Great hustle by the Mastodons. They're throwing everything they have into this game.
In a very long game, the score is only 4-3. Seen a lot of side outs by both teams. Both teams passing the ball extremely well.
Back to Malcolm. That one's dug to us, Colin. Malcolm again hitting very heavily. We see that last play. Papaleo and Malcolm coming out of the back. He loves that line shot.
Lloyd Ball gets served with his jump serve. Service error gives the ball back to the Trojans.
Coverage by Tom Junkie. What a great play. Out to Malcolm. And that one's good.
Down the front of the Ivy brothers.
Here we see it again. Malcolm down the front of Brian Ivy. His left arm coming off the net at the last second. Over the top, and Junkie gets him. Malcolm goes over the top of Pat Ivy. 6'5", 6'5" duel, and Malcolm comes out the winner. IPFW ties it up in game 3, 4-4.
Tom Junkie showing he can do it in the back row as well.
That one goes into the bench of IPFW.
Great dig by Coach Ball there. Shows he's still got the touch.
Not only can he teach it, but he can play it. Malcolm high. It's a free ball actually to USC. And Brian Ivy puts it away. Nice job by the blockers for USC deflecting it up. It's almost like a free ball. Here we see it again. Free ball. Pat Ivy puts it up there.
Pat Ivy gives the ball back to the Dons by serving long. Tony Looney will now serve.
Dan Greenbaum. Second option to Nick Becker.
Got two blockers up there with the fake on the one ball.
Dan Greenbaum's doing a nice job setting the hitters for USC. You don't see a lot of miscommunication or missed sets by Dan Greenbaum. Papaleo up to Loy Ball. And the junk man puts it down again.
He's really hot. Loy's got to keep giving it to him. And if Papa can keep passing the way he is, we're going to see Tom Junkie get a lot of use out of that arm tonight.
They go back to the middle, USC. The middle's very effective for both sides. Here we see Jason Perkins right there.
Brian Ivy serving for the Trojans. Serving wide. He's not having a very good night serving, that's for sure.
He's trying to go for that number one position on the court, which is the server's position, opposite side, and he's missing it. Devaney can't handle that by Amaldivar's ace.
Service ace.
That's going to tie the game up again at 5 apiece. IPFW hanging right there. Malcolm, it goes way up, doesn't touch anything, so it's good. Amaldivar sets Perkins.
Perkins beats it down the front of the IPFW block.
That was a satellite ball.
That ball went way up there, almost got the roof.
Malcolm out of the backcourt. That one's hit wide. He tries to snake it down the line. That's going to give a point to USC. They take the lead 6-5. This is game 3 in the best 3 out of 5 game match. Junkie stopped for what I believe is the first time tonight, Colin.
Just about. He's been very effective. That time they were camping on him.
Malcolm, backcourt, off the block, and he ends up by the center line again. What a tremendous broad jump by Fred Malcolm. Here we see it again. He takes off from behind the 10-foot line, ends up at the center line. Short serve, Junkie, nice serve. Dan Greenbaum, quick hands. He gets that tip kill.
Tony Looning with a block back of Brian Ivy's first attempt. Knocked it right back at him. Wasn't ready for Greenbaum's sneak attack on the second hit.
Leon Devaney, number 11 for USC, serves. That's pretty ugly. But there's no net and there's no reaching over. So the point goes to USC.
IPFW calls a timeout.
That'll be the first one in game 3. They're hanging right with USC. Last night we saw number 1 USC destroy number 8 Penn State. And IPFW making a respectable match for the Trojans here.
All right, they're not giving it away too easy. They're making the Trojans earn every point. Got to pull things together a little bit, see if they can take a game here from the Trojans.
Coach Ball very upset with that last call. I believe he was looking for a net violation or over the net. I don't blame him. I thought he was in the net too. Leon Devaney still serves for USC. Papaleo, nice pass. Malcolm out of the backcourt. Tough one by Greenbaum. The arms are swinging, and they try to get it over. 6'9" Loy Ball. He'll go back and serve into the net. IPFW playing with a little lack of intensity. They have no reason right now to playing with the lack of enthusiasm. That one goes through Ivy's arms.
Tony Looney beats it down the front of the block. IPFW is still exploiting the middle against USC.
Last night we saw IPFW change the lineup so many times, and tonight Coach Ball is sticking with the same one, game in and game out.
USC, a little miscommunication there, gives a point to the Dons.
Papaleo, the little floater over the net, back set to Ivy, and Looney throws up an arm. Almost a miscommunication by IPFW. Leon Devaney hanging way back in the middle back, out of the court. He touches that one before it hits the ground. That's going to give a point to IPFW. They're coming back.
Service ace for Raul Papaleo.
Mastodons coming back.
Timeout,
It's
USC.
8-all. USC wants a timeout.
That brings the crowd to their feet. They enjoy those points by the Volleyball.
Hanging tough all the way. Showing a lot more consistency this time. IPFW taking it right to the #1 Trojans.
Playing with some emotion out there. They're getting fired up on every good play. And that's what they need to do. They need to be in it emotionally and mentally. Get that adrenaline flowing and reel off a few more points. Take game 3 from the Trojans.
I don't see why they can't if they keep playing like the way they are. Game 3 could go to the Dons.
Keep serving aggressively. Couple more big digs in the back row. We can really hear this place explode. This crowd's getting into it.
Papaleo, this last serve being an ace. Devaney has trouble. Looning blocks that one back in the court. Goes back to him. That time, Looning doesn't press.
Like it went down the front of Fred Malcolm. He was a little slow getting out there. Didn't penetrate on his block.
Here we see it again. Sometimes it's not necessarily pressing, but it's the distance away from the net the blocker is. He calls a lift on Volleyball. The one-handed set. That's his judgment. That gives USC the lead, 9-8. And Pat Ivy goes back to serve. He goes out to Norman Almodovar.
Off the block and out of bounds. Side out.
Looning back to serve for the Mastodons. Second option to Brian Ivy. He tries to pull that one straight down. The block goes back up with him. Pat Ivy with the dig. Out to Brian Ivy.
Norman.
Big time blocked by Norman Almodovar, the freshman out of Puerto Rico.
Here we see it again.
They changed their blocking scheme a little bit. They put Norman in the middle and Junkie outside. The strength in the arms of Almodovar. Number 12, Chris Knowles comes in, USC lineup. Devaney. Big press by Almodovar. Back to Ivy. That one's tipped out of bounds. IPFW takes the lead in game 3, 10-9, and the crowd goes nuts.
IPFW being a force at the net.
Devaney, back set to Ivy. It's high off the block, and they're there. Looning takes that one. Green bomb, backpedaling. Almodovar. Nice free ball pass, and Malcolm.
Ivy tracks it down, but it's into the bleachers.
You cannot go past the bench to play the ball. As we see Dan Greenbaum does there, and that's going to give a point to IPFW.
Don's leading 11-9, game 3.
The earth's shaking.
Crowd's getting into it.
Becker Looning with a dig. He pops it up for Junkie.
Junkie
pokes it through. We see some emotion from Tom Junkie. You don't see a lot of that out of that person, but there you see it tonight. USC calls timeout. Here's a replay. Junkie poking it through 3 blockers of the Trojans.
This crowd is loving it. USC.
The last play again. Malcolm just throws it up so someone can hit it. Junkie, just a little finesse. The defense and the ball control of the Mastodons give them the lead 12-9 in game 3. USC making some mistakes right now, Colin.
That's right. IPFW is playing with a lot of control right now. Passing the ball on target, making good sets, putting up a good block. The Trojans are having trouble with it.
You're watching a special live sports event on College Cable Access Channel 6, brought to you by IPFW with the support of the city of Fort Wayne.
Looning, back serving still for the Dons.
Again, IPFW with the dig, out to Malcolm. The block by Perkins and Ivy. Bring that one down. IPFW, they continue to play defense and pass the ball up to the target. The middle is being very effective for IPFW.
That time Tom Junkie trying to jump in there and set. As Lloyd Ball played the first one.
Nick
Tom's
Becker
got to work on those hands a little bit.
back to serve. That looked a little low for Fred to handle. Junkie being blocked. That one's back to the track. Moaning can't chase that one down. A little low set there by Lloyd Ball, causing Tom Junkie to lose his reach.
They're starting to key on Tom. They know he's hurt them.
12-10, IPFW leads. Back set to Malcolm. He puts that down. The assist by Lloyd Ball. Fred Malcolm, senior co-captain of Albuquerque, New Mexico, serves for point 13. That one's touched. Lloyd Ball. The big hands of Lloyd Ball. Devaney doing a nice job swinging very high. Ryan Ivy serving for the Trojans. Nice pass by Papaleo. Malcolm out of the backcourt. Malcolm definitely playing with a lot of confidence, playing like the Fred and Malcolm of last year, the third-team All-American. Here we see it again. He loves the line, and he takes it.
Norman Amaldavar back to serve for the Dons. Just catches the top of the net.
Very frustrating for a coach to sit on the bench and watch your team make those service errors like that.
Matt Ivy and Drew Seward into the Trojan lineup. Seward will serve. Ivy's up there to block.
Aldavar, nice pass. Junkman off the head of Nick Becker. The assist by Lloyd Ball. Junkie, I would have to say, but he has to be very high in percentage. Here we see the last shot of attempts. It's back set to Ivy. Aldavar stays on the line again. Papaleo off the block. That gives them point 13. Great set by Lloyd Ball, setting against the flow of the block.
Nice pass by Norman up where Lloyd can set it.
Tom Junkie to Nick Becker. Devaney squeezes that one through. Papaleo.
Like Papa floated a little bit on that block. Square up and go straight up.
Papaleo to Looning, and that one is blocked deep into the court. USC scores another point. IPFW leads game 3, 13-11. IPFW still playing steady ball all the way.
Their passing has really improved from last night. Raul and Norman are passing nails tonight. Everything's up on target where Loy can do something with it.
You've seen this team of IPFW play this way against Ball State the first 2 games last weekend, destroying Ball State. Malcolm, backcourt. And he gets another kill. Fred Malcolm, you gotta love that.
That time Fred decided to go across court. Here we see it. Hole in the block, and he finds it.
Greenbaum throws that down past Looning. Right now, IPFW needs to be very patient. Not expect to get a point off every shot. Be patient.
Off the rail.
Now they need to play some heads-up defense. Here we see it again. Papaleo with a great pass. Volleyball gives it back to him. Greenbaum out to Ivy. He's over the top, but there's a dig. Looning keeps that one in.
Oh.
That's one of those, I got it, you take it balls.
That could have been a golden opportunity right there. That would have been point 14. That would have really got this crowd on their feet.
Being #1 in the country, you're not only up there because of your skills, you get a little bit of luck of that shot right there. Looning sends that one into the upper deck. He blasts that one down the line.
He really got all of that one. Here we see it again. Boom!
Great shot by Looning. This could set him up for a nice defensive point.
Tony couldn't quite get an arm on that one. Great shot by Ivy, proving why he was NCAA Player of the Year last year.
Number 5, Becker back to serve. He stays deep when he serves, make the ball float and dance a little bit. Not enough for Norman. Almodovar off a Greenbaum. The line shots of IPFW seem to be working. The wing defenseman not able to keep a hand.
Neil Day making his first appearance in tonight's match. Neil transfer from East Stroudsburg.
Putting him in for big blocking purposes. Volleyball and Norman Almodovar. 14-11. Fred Malcolm serves for game point in game 3.
Jason Perkins quiets the crowd in a hurry, burying that one ball.
Brian Ivy serving for USC. The very steady play of the Dons. Tom Junkie hits that one long. Again, patience by the Dons will win this game.
Great coverage play by Loy Ball on that one. Tom's shot was just a little long.
Fred Malcolm out of the back court. Everybody for IPFW wanted to play that one. Almodovar puts that one away. The number 10 IPFW Dons serve for game point in game 3. With the help of that man right there, Norman Almodovar. Outside of Devaney. It's trouble. Devaney.
Off the block and into the bleachers. No chance for the defense.
USC will serve. Each game keeps getting better and better here at the Mastodons. Nice dig by Perkins. It's out to Devaney. And he hits that one down the line at Malcolm.
Substitution for the Trojan lineup, number 3, Mark Shepard.
Kevin Shepard.
Kevin Shepard.
He is the stepson of Tom Selleck. Yes, that's right, Tom Selleck.
IPFW takes a timeout, trying to settle it down.
Trying to ice the Trojans a little bit on this next serve.
Kevin Shepard, who was a starter last year for the number 1 team in the country, USC.
Is sitting out quite a bit now with the returning player of Jinkai Lu, who's not in this weekend. I believe Coach Jim McLaughlin wants to keep him out because he's been out the past 2 years with knee surgery.
Tune in to Channel 6 this Sunday evening at 7 p.m. to watch selected tape replays from last week's ASICS qualifier volleyball tournament. At 7 p.m., Ohio State challenges in the first round, and at 9 p.m., IPFW battles the Cardinals of Ball State. That's right here on Channel 6 tomorrow evening, beginning at 7 p.m.
Tom Junkie will serve game point in game number 3. This one goes out to Devaney, and he's blocked straight down. The number 10 IPFW Mastodons defeat USC in game 3.
Here's that last play again.
Volleyball puts that straight down. One thing IPFW needs to do right now is not be satisfied with a 1-game victory in this match. They need to turn it on for game 4 and go after USC.
That's right. They've got a lot of momentum built up. They've got to capitalize on it. There's that last play again.
We're going to see USC does not lie down that easily. They're going to come out hard. IPFW do an extremely nice job of playing consistent. We talked about it. Ball control was fantastic. The defense is playing well. Passes were right up to Lloyd Ball where he could run anything he wanted to.
Passing was really excellent that game, and their blocking is coming along really well. They're touching a lot of balls, keeping the ball in play. They're able to capitalize on that. That's going to win them a lot of games this year.
The key hitting of Tom Junkie and Fred Malcolm bring IPFW the victory in game 3. That turns this crowd around. Very exciting game. It was a stalemate, 3-3 for the longest time. Then IPFW and started to crank it up. We're live at the Mastodon in Fort Wayne, bringing you the 1991 Fort Wayne National Bank Pepsi Invitational. This is the championship match. The USC Trojans versus the IPFW
Here we see game point again.
Devaney. It's a big time block by Lloyd Ball. You can see the crowd just go nuts. It's going to be interesting. Game 4. IPFW, the big momentum. A lot of confidence. Fred Malcolm playing like he can. We saw him last weekend and last night not playing up to par. He shows us why he is an All-American.
We'll be right back after these brief messages.
Imagine yourself in an emergency. Your survival depends on fast, accurate treatment. That's why you should depend on Medical Alert. Millions do. An emergency responder's call to Medical Alert tells them your medical conditions, current prescriptions, drug allergies, family and physicians. Information that could save your life. To learn more, call Medical Alert, 1-800-ID-ALERT. That's 1-800-ID-ALERT.
Welcome back to the Mastodons Dome. We're here with USC against IPFW, and IPFW just defeats the #1 team in the country, 15-13 in Game 3. IPFW needs to continue what they did in Game 3 to win in Game 4.
That's right. They're showing some great ball control in that third game, passing the ball up on target. Their blocking is coming along. They're playing a lot of balls. They got some emotional high going right now. They got to capitalize on that. Stick it to the Trojans to begin this fourth game.
One thing IPFW cannot do right now, and that is they cannot be satisfied with just winning one game. They need to go hard at him again. Outside to Papaleo. He hits high. Devaney's back there. Back set.
Volleyball with the dig.
Out to Papaleo. There's no touch. They try for it, but there's no touch. Pat Ivy, a 6'5" freshman out of Manhattan Beach, will serve for USC. Norman Almodovar with a nice pass. Papaleo tools Nick Becker.
Norman and Papa are really passing nails out there. Everything's going on target. Roy Ball's having an easy time setting.
Papaleo and Perkins puts that one down.
Perkins is a big leaper, and he hit that one over the top of the 6'5" Fred Malcolm.
Becker's serving. A quick attack by IPFW, and Malcolm goes back up.
Great coverage play by Tony Looning on that.
That's a very nice play by Looning, and Malcolm taking charge. Starting to run the show. You see him running the blocking scheme there. Tony Looning not helping with that service error. Score is 0-0.
Ryan Ivy back serving.
Almodovar stays with it. We're starting to see Loy Ball throw some stuff to the middles, and that one goes out into the parking lot. I think that hit your car, Colin.
Almost. I'm not parked in the front row, but it came close.
Devaney matching his personal best with a shot up in the track before. Devaney outside. He puts that one in the court. Again, there you see. Hitting error, comes back with a kill. Papaleo with a great pass. It's a second option to Norman Almodovar with the windmill shot. They teach that down there in Puerto Rico. I guess when you're hot, you're hot. There's a lot of confidence out there.
They got to be thinking tough. Got to be.
Looning with a nice free ball pass. Loy Ball throws it down. That's going to give the lead to IPFW in Game 4, 1-0.
Brian Ivy thought he had that red. He just couldn't handle it.
Nice serve by Almodovar. Ivy, back court. Blocked out of bounds. It's going to give him the kill and the assist by Dan Greenbaum.
IPFW playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Devaney goes at Almodovar. Malcolm out of the back row. Hits that one out. And Long ties it up. One apiece in Game 4.
Set was just a little low for Fred.
We have a touch on that shot. Malcolm doing a nice job finding the fingers of the Trojan players.
That's a shot Devaney's been trying, but he's been hitting his a little too high.
Tom Junkie serving for the Dons. Defensive play by Malcolm. Will Loy Ball bring it back? Looks like the same play we saw before. That one hits long.
USC coaches upset about the non-call right there. Didn't really hurt him as the ball was hit long.
Papaleo, great pass. That goes outside. Off the chest of Devaney. Papaleo, tremendous job passing. Volleyball, here we see, can do anything with the ball. That holds the middle blockers long enough. And Becker puts that one down.
Score tied, 1-1 here in game 4.
Pat Ivy brings out the jump serve. Papaleo sends that one up high. Volleyball out to Malcolm. Here we see the control of USC and the control of IPFW. But the block of USC. Here we see volleyball steps in. Malcolm hitting into the hands of Jason Perkins.
Trying to go away from the big block of the 6'7" Brian Ivy. Found the bigger block of Jason Perkins that time.
When Fred reaches and extends as well as he can go over the top of any player in the country. That's what Fred's been doing the past few games. Tony changes the direction of that ball and sends it wide. That gives USC the lead in game 4, 3-1 over IPFW. Malcolm, blast and green bomb down the line. The assist by Loy Ball.
Great pass here by Norman, right on target.
Over the top.
IPFW in the net. Side out to the Trojans.
Standing room only at the Mastodons. People can't find seats. They're standing along the concessions. Mooning with the missed shot, but it lands for a kill. Sometimes that's one of the best shots. And you never know what the ball's going to do.
It all looks the same in the stats the next day.
Mooning with the blooper over the net, almost hits the setter green bomb. Junkie having trouble taking the power of Jason Perkins. IPFW going to wipe up a little perspiration off the floor. Good time to catch their breath and slow things down. Sometimes, Colin, you wipe up a dry area just to talk to another player.
Just to catch a little breath here.
Out to Almodovar. He snake arms that in.
Norman's really getting fired up. He likes this big crowd here.
Green bomb. Perkins puts that one away. I think a little Norman Almodovar jumped a little early with the setter. And Perkins said thank you.
Perkins back to serve.
Malcolm off the block. Once again in game 4 we have a stalemate. Kind of just side out ball. USC though leading 3-1.
Both teams passing really well, hitting strong.
That one keeps floating. It stays in the air for a while. That's what those Mikasa world-class balls do.
Didn't have the valve on the right side of the ball on that one.
A little serving tip. Preference, I should say. Green bomb sneaks that one over. Tom Junkie going to hit. He hits it high. He's going to get the kill on that one. Side out will go back to IPFW. Tom Junkie will serve. Tony Looning with the shot off of green bomb. A big block by Tony Looning. Raul Papaleo, as you can see, just threw up the left arm for a Kong.
Turned that ball in well. Turned the left hand into the court.
Again, attacking that short. Malcolm with a nice dig. Tony Looning in the net.
Tony remembered that last big block. He was hungry for another one. reached over and got in the net that time.
The setter, Dan Greenbaum, serves. It's to Malcolm, a low set, but he gets there. Great athletic ability out of Fred Malcolm. The confidence is back, and so is Fred Malcolm.
Dons are really playing well right now. A lot of confidence out there in the court.
Volleyball serves to Becker. He backs us to Ivy. Almost a one-on-none. Dan Greenbaum doing a nice job mixing it up. Brian Ivy, here we see it. Swinging around. Raul Papaleo can't get him. Out to Malcolm. Little blooper shot. Greenbaum gives it back to the middle. Big block by Looning. It's set outside to Becker. Another block.
Papaleo and Looning.
By the combo.
Side out to the Dons.
We see it again. Devaney just popping it up. Great pressing and turning it back into the court. Raul Papaleo. That one goes wide again. Great play by IPFW, followed by a service error.
Got to cut down on those errors. They can take this game.
Almodovar, nice pass to ball. He hits that one wide, going for the hands of Brian Ivy. That's going to give a point to USC. They lead game 4, 4-2. Nice call by the Dons, letting that ball go long.
Tony Looning back to serve for the Dons.
And it clears. It's out to Devaney. Volleyball tries to bring it back with one arm. Nice serve by Looning, just clearing the net. Looks like they're going for position number 2 on the court, where the setter has to run there, and sometimes it's just missing Dan Greenbaum. Junkman puts that one away.
Set was just a little low, but Tom's handling it all real well.
Becker to Greenbaum, out to Devaney. Malcolm has enough go to get it. Coverage by Junkie. Back to him. It goes through. That gives a point to the Mastodons. Great play by Fred Malcolm. He's back on his heels.
Great hustle by Lloyd Ball to go get that ball in.
Becker passes up to Greenbaum. That one's hit long. That's going to tie it up. 4-4. IPFW coming back at USC. Not satisfied with winning just one. Out to Devaney. Looning. Sucking into the court. Way out of position on that shot.
Trying a little bit behind the block instead of staying up inside of it.
Here we see it. Looning way inside. He's got to stay out there and play the ball inside the court. He ends up playing that ball. It goes right into the bleachers. Wiping
USC
up.
coaches don't look too worried yet.
They're still casual.
Coach Ball had his jacket off from the get-go here. He wanted this match pretty seriously.
Alto Almodovar puts that one down. Almodovar with the kill, but not satisfied with that shot. He's a little ticked off with his pass to Lloyd. And Norman serves. Devaney handles that backcourt to Ivy. That's off the block for a side out to USC. Leon Devaney will go back to serve. From Honolulu. Backcourt to Fred Malcolm. Ivy says you're easy, and it's back to Ivy.
And Ivy puts the ball down for the Trojans.
Almodovar staying very deep. A little bit too deep.
Point number 5.
As we see here, Ivy hitting back at Norman. He's a little bit out of the court. Up tight to the net. The timeout's called by IPFW. Coach Arnie Ball needs to talk to his Mastodons, get them back in the line here.
Lloyd Ball trying to dunk that last ball down. Just missed.
Looks like he was definitely trying for some fingers. He wanted to hold on to the ball a little bit until he got some hands and tried to wipe it off, but couldn't do it that time.
The next live sports event here on Channel 6 will be telecast this coming Thursday evening, the 31st of January. Join us for exciting basketball action when the Lady Flyers from Lewis University meet our own Lady Dons at 6 p.m. At 8 p.m., the men Mastodons take on the men of Northern Kentucky University. That's this coming Thursday at 6 and 8 p.m.
All right, timeout is over, and Leon Devaney will serve for the USC Trojans. From Aldevar with a nice pass to Lloyd Ball. It's out to Papaleo off the block. And Perkins decides to catch it rather than play it. And a lift call. Tom Junkie serving for the Dons.
Strategy in that last timeout seemed to work.
Back to Ivy. Swinging mighty high and hard. Brian Ivy, 1990 Player of the Year. As I mentioned earlier, if they stop Brian Ivy, they pretty much put a damper on USC spirits. Nice coverage by Lloyd Ball. They call 4 hits. One off the face of Tony Looning. Then Raul. And Junkie sets Papaleo back. That's 4. Big block, Brian Ivy.
That got the USC coaches excited, thinking their players are finally doing what they told them to do.
Out to Papaleo. That ball's gonna drop. We're starting to see the ball drop for IPFW.
USC has just run off 4 unanswered points. Let's see if the Dons can answer with one of their own here.
Lloyd Ball with the jump serve. It's back to Becker. Devaney and a big block by Looney. He times that very well. It's going to give a point to IPFW. They trail 8-5 in game 4. Lloyd Ball bringing out the jump serve again. There it goes. Tony Looning all over that one. He was ready for it. Looning.
Score 8-6.
Timeout goes to USC. Here we see it again. Looning is ready for it.
Crowd getting excited. USC coaches trying to stem the momentum.
See slow-mo replay of Lloyd Ball. Coming over to Tony Looning. Is he across the net? Doesn't look like it to me. Looks like the ball just broke the plane.
As soon as that ball breaks the plane, it's anybody's ball. It's fair game. Tony Looning went up and jumped on that one, bringing the crowd to its feet.
IPFW getting the momentum going with the block by Tony Looning and the overpass kill by Tony Looning.
Lloyd Ball still serving for the Dons.
With an overpass kill like that off the serve, statisticians give the ace to Lloyd Ball. Out to Brian Ivy. That one's hit wide. That's another point to IPFW. The defending national champions having trouble against the young team of the Dons. Tony Looning puts it down again. Lloyd Ball will get another ace for that. That's going to tie things up at 8 apiece.
Tony Looning getting this crowd pumped up.
Puts that one up to the track, doing what he needs to do.
Drew Short into the Trojan lineup. Little defense in the back row.
Looney, volleyball with a nice serve. That one comes down the chest of Tony Looney.
Jason Perkins back into the lineup for the Trojans. Pat Ivy serving.
Papaleo says you're easy. But Nick Becker likes to put up a wall in front of him.
That breaks the tie, making it 9-8 in favor of the Trojans.
Pat Ivy almost catching the ball there. Would have been a freshman mistake, but he doesn't. We have trouble. Junkie's going to kick it up high for Volleyball to send it over to USC. Papaleo with a dig. Looning back sets to Malcolm. He puts it down.
Great hustle by Junkie to go get that ball.
Don's not giving up. They've had enough. Fred Malcolm outside to Brian Ivy. He's putting that down. The bread and butter for USC. Number 10, Brian Ivy. The 6'7" senior.
Showing his Olympic team experience there.
A great person on and off the court. Here we see Coach Jim McLaughlin. Backs at the Looning. The coverage goes out of bounds. Gives USC point number 10 in game 4.
Devaney and Perkins teaming up on the big block that time.
Nick Becker serving it on Moldovar. Back to Looning. High off the block. Becker's there. Greenbaum kicks it out to Devaney. That one's out of there.
Devaney over the top of the block and out of bounds.
USC very frustrated. Looking for calls off the block. Could have been, but it's hard to tell from up here. Looning back to serve for the Dons. He goes for the low floater. And it clears the net. Back to Devaney. That one is out of there. No touch. They close the gap, 9-10. Looning with some very impressive playing right now. Devaney passes it to Greenbaum. And Jason Perkins seems a little bit ticked off, and he puts that one down.
Put that one down with authority.
Brian Ivy going after Moldovar. Back out to him. It's squeaking over. First motion for a blocker is to look up. That time the Trojans don't do it. Fred Malcolm, co-captain out of Albuquerque. Big block by Moldovar, but it's out.
Perkins gets another kill.
Perkins cranking it up a notch for USC. Papaleo back to Moldovar. Ivy says you're easy. Greenbaum with a nice set out to Devaney. That one's off the block.
Tony Looning with a great athletic try to get that ball in the back row. Coach Ball seems happy with what he's seeing out there. I don't think he's satisfied yet. He thinks we can still win this game.
Jason Perkins, serve for the University of Southern California. That ball's out. USC wants that ball to drop in. Number 3 of Moldovar. Back to serve for IPFW. Try to get some momentum going in game 4. Ivy out of the backcourt. No touch. He goes way over the block. It's hard to touch that ball.
Makes a score 11-10. Don's coming back.
Back to Ivy. That time it goes through with a nice try by Papaleo. Score is 11-10. USC leads. Devaney serving. Papaleo sends a free ball over to USC. That's trouble when you start sending free balls over to USC.
Great serve by Devaney on that one.
That's going to be a point, USC.
Knuckleball's got a lot of movement out there tonight.
Fred Malcolm out of the backcourt. Blast Devaney.
Devaney lucky to get an arm on that at all.
Fred Malcolm hitting a lot harder than he has the past week. Brian Ivy, major block. He calls a lift off the Devaney. Good call from this angle.
Looks like it rolled up his chest a little bit. Point 11 for the Dons. They're
Tom
staying
Junkie.
close.
Walker stepping on each other for IPFW.
Nick Becker with another kill. Dan Greenbaum back to serve.
Papaleo very high off the block. The best shot in the game of volleyball is the tool shot. Papaleo demonstrates that shot right there.
No chance for the back row players to play it.
Loy ball stays on the ground, goes at Becker. It's out to Ivy. And then he tools Tony Looning. Freshman Pat Ivy to serve.
Didn't like his toss, decided to let it fall and try it again.
Slowing things down a little bit. Tormenting the crowd.
Getting a yellow card warning for doing that once too often. You're allowed to do it once. But if you do it again, they call it delay of game. And that's what they're giving the yellow card warning for right now.
Captain Brian Ivy has a little discussion with him. The delay of game goes against Pat Ivy that time. Kind of backfires, and IPFW getting ready to score. Point 12 and even it up if they can with a defensive play here. Out to Ivy.
Junkie with the dig.
Loy ball sets it high outside to Looning. Greenbaum there. Becker kicks it up high to Ivy. And that's off the block.
Tony's got to get a better attack on that ball. Can't give USC too many free balls like that.
Nice coverage by Tom Junkie. Dons are on the ball, on the balls of their feet. Norman Almaldovar blasts that one down the line.
There we see it again. Boom, nobody
Great
home
shot.
back there.
Just give him a few inches, that's all he needs. Looning going to short serve, position 2. Out to Devaney. Norman Almaldovar. He was a good foot off the net that time, and his hands were facing towards us, Colin.
He was a little late getting out there, trying to stay with that middle attacker.
Tom Junkie, nice coverage by Loy Ball. And Junkie wipes it off of Jason Perkins' hands.
Nice hands by Loy Ball in the coverage there. Popped it right back up.
Deep serve by Fred Malcolm. Backcourt to Ivy, who puts that one away. Brian Ivy leading all kill stats last night with 21. Papaleo there, but he sends that one out of bounds. Coach Ball wants to call another timeout for IPFW. USC leads game 4 by the score of 13-11 over IPFW.
Got to settle them down, let them regroup a little bit. Come back, get a side out, run some points up on here.
Mastodons playing consistent from the end of game 2 until now, they've been playing very consistently. USC kind of breaking down a little bit.
The taped replay of the IPFW matches from this Pepsi Fort Wayne National Bank Invitational Classic Tournament will be on Channel 6 on Sunday evening, the 3rd of February, beginning at 7 o'clock.
Jason Perkins will serve for USC. The crowd's trying to get IPFW going here. Outside of Norman, and that's off of Pat Ivy. The crowd tonight getting everything they hope for. The first match, Penn State versus Ohio State, went 5 games with Penn State coming out ahead in the rally scoring game.
Juan Ortiz into the lineup, giving Norman Almodovar a much deserved rest.
Tony Looning, a nice play, but not nice enough.
Got the ball up, couldn't quite control it.
Leon Devaney, number 11 for USC, 6'1", senior out of Honolulu. He's going to serve for USC. Papaleo with a nice pass. It's back set out of the backcourt. Fred Malcolm continues to attack the line shot. All week, I practice for the IPFW team. Fred Malcolm likes to hit the line on that backcourt attack.
Tom Junkie serving for the Dons. Nice short serve.
Big block, that's trouble. Brings it back, Devaney will hit wide. Gives IPFW point 12, and here they come.
Great plays by Brian Ivy in the back row, but they couldn't capitalize.
Brian Ivy out of the backcourt. That one is hit long. That ties the game up at 13 apiece. USC will call a timeout.
Brings the crowd to their feet. USC played in a tournament last weekend out in California. I don't think they lost the game. In the finals, they defeated a Stanford team 3 straight. I don't think Stanford scored more than 4 points in any one of those games.
Then they play a very strong Brigham Young team during the week, defeating them easily. This is the closest I've seen a Midwest team come to defeating a California team. In all my years of playing, I've never seen a Midwest team beat a California team inside the collegiate level.
IPFW took game 3, 15-13, and they've tied the score up 13-all here in game 4.
Tom Junkie serves for the Dons. He goes after Becker. And Pat Ivy goes off the block. The Dons slowing things down a bit, wiping up some perspiration. When Tony Mooning goes to the ground for a ball, you can expect there's going to be some sweat on the ground.
Dan Greenbaum back serving.
Papaleo outside. That ball's blocked long, giving IPFW another chance to go back and score point 14 in game 4. IPFW should win game 4. We will go to the rally scoring of game 5. Outside to Ivy. He goes over the top. USC playing steady ball.
Tom Junkie went down on that last play, so he left the wet spot.
Substitution for USC, number 12.
Chris Knowles entering the USC lineup for number 13, Pat Ivy.
Chris Knowles. He's a swing hitter, 6'1" senior out of Dana Point, California. Coach McLaughlin feels that he'll give him some defense in there. Papaleo's right there. It's tight. Malcolm tips it up enough, and it goes back out to him. That time, there's no touch off the block. That sets up game point and match point for the USC Trojans.
Crowd trying
IPFW.
to bring them alive here. Stave off match point.
Let's serve long. Serve long. Raul Papaleo will go back and serve.
Crowd on their feet. Every play now.
Out to Ivy. He goes over the top, and the junk man comes up with a big play there. It's back to USC. Greenbaum goes back out to Ivy. Again, Looning there. Back out to Looning. That ball's hit wide.
Just wide. Side out to USC.
Nice defense by the Dons. First the dig by Junkie, and the nice deflect block. Sets up a free ball. Out to Moldovar. That one's off the antenna. That's going to give USC the game point and match point. They won the championship of the Fort Wayne National Bank Pepsi Invitational. USC, the #1 ranked team in the country, defeats IPFW, the #10 team in the country, with the scores of 15-7, 15-10, 13-15, and 15-13.
That was a well-played match on both sides of the net. Very exciting to watch. I think we've seen this IPFW team discover how good they can really be. They seem to put everything together in those last couple games. We could be seeing some great things out of this team for this entire season now.
Have to agree with you, Colin. They started off quick in game 1, then lost a lot of confidence to lose 15-7. Then they came back strong in game 2. Once again, losing a little consistency. Then in game 3 and 4, they played very strong. Any of the Ball State players that were here tonight have to feel that IPFW has their confidence back.
In just a few minutes, we're going to have a presentation of the team trophies, the all-tournament team, and the tournament MVP.
Very exciting match at the Mastodon. There we see the scores. USC 15-7, 15-10, 13-15, and 15-13. Great pleasure for myself, Colin, to be here and to call the action. There we see the game winner and match winner, Moldovar, putting in the antenna.
Great pleasure for myself as well. This is a great match to watch. We're happy to bring it to you, part of Channel 6.
Bringing you the best in collegiate sports here at IPFW. I'm extremely proud to be a part now of Channel 6. Mark Banger will be announcing the all-tournament team.
I think they were waiting for the selection list to be brought out. And we'll be right back after these brief messages.
Ooh, sounds like there's some mean grizzly bears in this forest.
Bears aren't mean, Kermit. They're just predators. Any animal that hunts and eats another animal is a predator. You know, frogs are predators, too.
Yeah, but predators are in trouble because of poaching and shrinking habitats.
That's right. If you'd like to learn more, write Predators. National Wildlife Federation, Washington, D.C., 20036.
Great! Now what's for supper?
Kareem, we'll never see eye to eye on anything.
Don't be so short-sighted. We can both see that space research benefits everyone.
Oh, like the scratch-proof lens developed for the Apollo space camera?
That same technology led to scratch-proof eyeglasses, sunglasses.
And even goggles.
You wouldn't need those if your horse was always in front.
That's a tall order.
What we're learning up there
is helping us all down here.
Space technology.
This is what's in it for you.
When I grow up, I want want to be a track star.
No one ever says, I want to be a junkie when I grow up.
I want to be a ballerina.
Yet thousands of kids let getting high make a mess of their lives.
I want to be a nurse.
Don't let drugs get in the way of your dreams.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at the Mastodons trying to get our wits back together for one of the most exciting matches that I've ever seen here at IPFW. The #1 ranked USC Trojans defeat IPFW Mastodons in 4 games. The scores of 15-7, 15-10, 13-15, and 15-13.
Now if we go down to the floor for the presentation of the second place trophy.
Here we have
Fred Malcolm accepting the trophy on behalf of the Dons.
The championship plaque of the 1991 Fort Wayne National Bank Pepsi Invitational goes to the University of Southern California. Accepting the award for USC, the head coach, Jim McLaughlin.
Coach McLaughlin has to be proud of the way his team came through at the end.
And now the all-tournament team. The individual awards, they will be accepting ASICS travel bags. From Ohio State University, number 13, David Freddy.
As we thought, Colin.
For
David
Penn
Freddy.
State University, number 8,
selection.
Jorge Perez.
Jorge Perez played very well for Penn State.
From IPFW, number 9, Raul Papaleo.
And the sophomore, Papaleo. Very nice job, very steady playing out of Raul. Going to see some nice things out of him the next 2 years.
He passed extremely well tonight.
From USC, number 11, Leon Devaney.
Leon Devaney, the outside hitter for USC. Made some great defensive plays.
As well as setting
From
some distance
USC,
records.
number 10, Brian Ivey.
The 1990 Player of the Year. Rightly so. That man right there, number 10, Brian Ivey, did a great
From
job.
IPFW, number 15, Fred Malcolm.
And Freddie Malcolm, Freddie Krueger Malcolm.
Came alive in that match tonight.
Freddie's
And
back.
the tournament MVP from Southern Cal, number 7, Dan Greenbaum.
Dan Greenbaum, the setter for USC, gets the most valuable player this tournament. And Colin and I have the honor of choosing an IPFW player.
I'd like to thank
Glenbrook
everyone
Dodge
who
Hyundai
attended
Player of the
this
Game.
weekend, the Fort Wayne National Bank Pepsi Invitational. We'll now have the American Airlines Summit City Travel fly-in.
Our pick for the player of the game is Fred Malcolm, the co-captain senior out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, with his heat-seeking backcourt attack and his big block up at the net.
Fred really came alive tonight. After last week's match, he wasn't too happy playing in the middle. They moved him to the outside this week, and he really came through for the Dons, providing a lot of firepower out there.
Fred, along with Tony Looning, with a very nice match. Tom Junkie being unstoppable in the middle. Norman Almodovar. It was a great match for IPFW. But I know what Coach Ball's thinking right now. We can get better. We can beat that team in Hawaii if we meet them again.
That's right. Kind of a moral victory to take just one game from the #1 ranked team in the country. But I don't think any of the players or Coach Ball are going to be satisfied with just a moral victory.
Not if you play for Coach Ball. You'll never be satisfied. You might be happy with the performance. And if I were the players of IPFW, I'd be training and training harder and harder because this season has just begun.
That's right. They've got to have a lot of confidence build up after this match. They've got to use that as a basis for the rest of the season and just build from there and go on to bigger and better things.
USC wins our championship match here at IPFW Mastodon. 3-1 over the Mastodons of IPFW. We're looking forward to broadcasting more men's collegiate volleyball. The season has just begun. Stay in touch with us and we'll show you some more action.
It's indeed a pleasure to work with you again, Lauren. And we will be joining our regularly scheduled Channel 6 programming already in progress. Thank you again for joining us here at Channel 6.
Bye-bye.